Hello everybody, I'm Sota and welcome back to Alchemy Factory. In the last episode, we got our fertilizer set up. The fertilizer is also now feeding the fuel setup, and we're getting lots of fuel. But we have discovered that there's another type of fuel, which is even better than this. So we're going to look at that. We also want to do more quests since we are not selling in the shop. So if we hop over here, there's a whole bunch of quests and a lot of them need soap. So we're going to have to get soap sorted out. But looks like there are a few that I can do. This one's got 1 day. Ooh, I'm going to have to do that one. And there are a whole bunch of random quests as well. Most of them need... There's an urgent request, but most of them need soap. So yeah, that's going to be probably the first thing we do. Anyway, lots to do. Let's get stuck in. Alright, before we do the quest, let's go and pin this urgent request. It's just 180 bricks. I don't know if I have that many. Oh, I actually do. More than enough. Alright, so let's go and deliver that quickly. And we can get some cash back in. Awesome. Then there was the bulk order. Now this one has 1 day left. They both only have 1 day left. Well, that one I can't do, soap. So let's try and do this one. Oh no, wait, this one's soap as well. Nope, can't do either of them. Yep, everything needs soap now. So let's make some soap. Alright, I think I'll do that maybe over here. Yeah, this looks like a good spot for it. Let's see what we need. Okay, soap is a good. It's that. For that we need plant ash. That needs sage. Cool, easy. And then linseed oil at the extractor. And linseed oil comes from flax. And that's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to start off by getting myself 2 farms. We'll put them like this. Probably not leaving enough space, but you know, what the heck. And we'll bolt that in there. Then we're going to need sage and flax. So 1 flax seed, 1 sage seed. And we're going to need a setup like this. So what I may do is just copy this one. But let's plant first. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll plant the flax seed on this side. Right there, and then the sage over here. Then pull out my blueprint tool. Copy up to there. Yep, just like that. And then confirm. All right, so this is going to be 1 setup. That's going to make us maybe a lot more than what we need, but I don't know. I don't know the recipe. So let's pop this down right over here, I think. Should be fine. I'm going to have to change a few belts around, and I might want to remove that. Yeah, let me just do all the belts. So we'll take those out, and then we need to bring some fuel into this. Let's see, what's the best way going to be? I think I could probably zip it around. Let's get the sage out first. So we'll... I didn't want to do that. Dude. Wait, have I got this I think I got these the wrong way around. Oh, gosh, okay. If I remove this and this, because, yeah, it looks like I put them both the wrong way around. I do get the seeds back. Brilliant. Okay, so it should be that way and that way. And then sage on this side, flax on this side. Good. Then I can bring this belt out to there. We'll get ourselves a conveyor lift that takes it up and swing it around and then belt those in. Right, so that will give us our stuff. We don't need anything extra. In fact, I could remove these blocks. So let's do that and confirm. Yep, don't need them because this will immediately make the plant ash. But it does need some fuel. So I'll grab a line to come through. Ooh, it's going to have to come through this way. Yeah, I'll just bring it through just like that. Now, let's just make sure that this all, once this gets going, that it all backs up. There should be more than enough capacity. Should not be a problem. But that's the end of the day. And we ran a bit of a loss. Nothing major. Okay, this is full now. So it should start backing up pretty soon. There we go. Good. Right, so the next step. And I think I need to just put down an assembler so I can see the recipe. Oh, the soap's not made in there. What's the soap made in? So I'll take that out. Is it the blender? It might be the blender. Yeah, there it is. Well, there's yeast powder as well that we need to do. Less important. Okay, 60 per minute, which I'm making. That needs 4,000 per minute of linseed oil. Oof. Let's have a look. We're going to need an extractor. So that's this. And fortunately, these can go pretty tight. And I don't know how much 4,000 is going to make. So let's grab a belt, bring it out, and into those and let's see what they do. Okay, so that's 1500 per minute. So if I was doing 4, that would be way too much. So 3 would be 4,500, more than enough. All right, so let's remove some of these. We get rid of the last 2 and their belts. All right, and they are gone. So that's 4,500. This needs 4,000. Well, it looks like we're okay. All we have to do now is figure out exactly where we're going to put this guy. And I think right over here should be good. We'll put it in there. We'll just give it a little bit of space. And then we're going to need to do all these belts. So we'll link those up in the middle. Then conveyor lift. And we'll get it done like that. And a belt into there. And then we're going to get some pipes right there. We're going to bring these across. And then get this one. Ooh, where's the... There. Things are getting a little tight here. Okay, so that will go up. Oh, it's going to need to go up. So switch form with T and there. So that should hopefully feed the linseed oil into there. So this is actually making linseed oil. It is. But why am I not seeing any? I'll put some storage down. Do I need to set the... Oh, I need to set the recipe first. Of course I do. So, yep, soap. There we go. That's working now. Now I can get rid of my test subject. And we have a lot of soap coming, so let's put it into, let's just give it a big box. I don't know if we're going to need that much space for it, but we've got them, so let's use them. And there's our first soap. And it's coming through at a rate of 20 per minute. That is fantastic. We'll be able to get some of those quests sorted out very, very quickly. Now, let's see, how's everything else doing? We have wood over here, we have stone. Yep, this has got stone as well. We are fine over here. All of this is good, although we don't have any more. So what's on here is the last of it. And yes, I read the comments and I should have had this set up a little bit better. I have like one of these per table saw, so I don't have all of that cash on the belt. But you know what? I'm going to use that cash anyway. So I'm just going to drop 34k in there and make sure that those logs are bought. Everything else seems to be good. Yep. We're fine. And now we have some soap. Ooh, not coming through as fast as I'd like it to. What's going on? This is working. These are making 20 per minute. That's working full time. Yeah, there's no issue. So it is going 20 per minute. I'm just being impatient. So let's have a look at some of those quests then. All right, we got 0 days for this. I don't know if we're going to get 180, but this would be good. 70,000. This one 180, but it's, I think I'm gonna focus on this one. And then there's some random quests that also need a fair bit. Here's an urgent request. Well, it's some rock. 360. I think I might be able to do that. There is a bunch of rock. So I think I can just deliver that. Urgent request, submit, done. All right, next. There's a new bulk order over here. 85. Oh. Maybe I should, yeah, this I've got 4 days to do. I can do that next. But I'll do one of these because, yeah, it's 180 a piece. But I think this one here is way more valuable. The random quests, yep, I can get to them. I've got 0 days on this one and 1 day on the other one. Cool. Let's go and see how much we have in the box. 65. All right, well, we're getting there. Let's go and see what's next. Now, I did use a lot of bricks. Do I have enough left? I do. Yeah, we're looking fine there. Okay, so that's what I need for that. I need 120 iron ingots. Yep, I'm going to have to get some more iron ore, but I should have iron ingots. I do. I'll need 60 healing potions, and I have enough of those. So it's just the soap that I'm waiting for. Let's go and have a look at what's next to research. There's a whole bunch of research that I didn't do. I just kind of skipped over, like this trash barrel. I'm going to start that one. And then I'm going to do the potion shelf because, you know, I just got to get it out the way. There's a few things here which are not terribly important for me right now. And then we're going to have to go down the line. So there's turquoise, which would mean that it would be jewelry. There's the shaper, that means we can go down the line of making a Jupiter. That's the first of our relics. And then there's steel. And steel leads us to cannons, which looks pretty good, but also coke. So yeah, this is what we discovered. And coke, I think we might be able to do that. We have a look at the recipe for coke. I mean, look at the heat value. Right now we're using charcoal powder, heat value of 48p. Coke, 600p. And then if we crush it, 660. That's now made it an ethanol. And it puts out half coke and half charcoal, which we can then just crush and then put it back into the system. Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about doing this. But I'm going to have to put down an ethanol and see how that works. I have researched it. There it is. And it uses heat. Oh, so it needs to go on one of these. Right. Gotcha. So if I put that over there. Nope, I didn't get it in the right spot. If I grab that and I put it over there. And then we grab this ethanol. And we have inputs into it. Recipe for Coke. Needs 120 charcoal powder per minute. I don't even know how much I'm making. 15 times 4 is 60. Actually, I'm making exactly 120. Perfect. All right, I think what I'm going to do, let me put a buffer box over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Just, yeah, I'm going to need more buffer boxes. I think I'll put the buffer box over here. So I need to remove 2 pieces. Put that out. And then grab one of these. Put that in over there. And I'm going to remove this. And then replace it with a single line. So it goes like that. All right. So now this will back up a little, hopefully. Okay, well, I'll drop what I have on me. This will back up and it'll give me time to mess around here. Yep, it's starting to back up. How are we doing on soap? Ooh, 186. There we go. We can deliver that bulk order before the end of the day. Wonderful. And that's the one. So submit. Good, money's up again. Then we have that one is expiring. I'll need 90 soap for that. This one also needs 90 soap. It expires tomorrow. That one, it's fine. That bulk order we're not going to be able to get to today, but this one, I think we could do that one. So let's pin that. That's some good cash. Now I have upgraded the belts so they do 120 per minute. Maybe I should move this slightly over. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Well, I'll put it down over here. And then I can have one of these boxes as a buffer. I change the orientation and put it like, okay, well, this is going to need to be built up. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this exactly. Yeah, since currently these are all flowing in this direction, I could maybe bring them around and I'll need a couple of blocks like that. And then one belt in there, then to split and go into this one that goes up into there. Okay, so this will be kind of a temporary fix really until this stuff is going and then it'll be replaced with the coke. But now I need to find out how many grinders I need to grind the coke. Because getting 20 per minute charcoal, which isn't exactly a good number. I may have to take that off somewhere else. Or use it to power this one. Yeah, crush it and shove it in here. It won't be balanced though. And we get 10 per minute coke. And I would like to say we put a crusher on both of them. And then we see where it goes from there. So we'll build this side up with some blocks. Oh, and that's the end of the day. Wow, spent that whole 34,000 on those logs. But we made a profit. So good. All right, that is built up. I wonder if... Okay, so I think this side is where the coal comes out. If I was to grab a little bit out of here and drop it into there. Let's see what happens. Oh, nothing, because I need to dump some in here too. And then just get belts. Not enough heating. So let's try that. See what comes out where. Okay, so we got the charcoal. Oh, the charcoal powder's on this side. And there is the coke powder. So, oh, bugger, I missed it. So I've got to try and catch the coke powder. So it's 5 per minute. Okay. I'm going to need to split that and have 2 crushers. All right, well, that's fine. So I can break that down. Confirm. And then I keep saying crushers, but they're grinders. Put those over there. Build this side up just like that. Belt those into there. And then... I have space on this belt. I could just feed these straight back into here. So let's plug that in there. Hopefully it doesn't get too backed up. This is only producing 20 per minute. 20 per minute. Yeah, and I'm not grinding it all. Oh, that could be a problem. Yeah, I might need to take this somewhere else. Keep an eye on that. And then I think I can belt this one backwards. So we'll grab that, we'll drag it down that way. And then I'm going to have to try and figure out how to feed it into all of those. Yeah, I'll have to reroute how I'm bringing the charcoal powder out. Oh, but for a start, we'll do that. And we can belt that in. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to change. Yeah, it's always a bit tough trying to retrofit things. So we'll take that one out. This is going to have to come down and face outwards. But only one, because we've got to bring the new goods over this way. And that's got to span this area as well. And that is probably going to happen in the front. I need to move this line. I think I need to move it to where I had it. So I'll start off by breaking this one out and just putting that belt in. So that all goes around for now. While that's happening, let's just do... Oh, I've got 180 of those. Do I have the bricks? I don't have all the bricks because I have run out of what exactly? Wood. No, stone. For some reason, oh, right, I ran out of cash over here, so let's see if we can fix that quickly. Right, send some stone down that way. The iron nails, okay, I'm going to be running out of iron. I have run out of iron, but that shouldn't matter. I have lots of nails, so that's fixed. Vitality potion, there should be plenty. Yep, top that up. So the bricks, I have almost enough. Oh wait, I do have enough. I would needed 120. Perfect. So that's another bulk order delivered. And that is that one. Submit. Good coin. Urgent request for 165 glass. Let's go and see if we have 165 glass. We do. We have more than enough. So urgent request delivered. Random request. This one is 2 days. This one is 0 days. It needs 90 soap, 90 wooden pulleys, and 60 brick. I think the brick might be the problem. Yeah, I'll have to wait for the brick. But no, I didn't pin that one. But we should have the pulleys because I put them into a big box. Look at that. Excellent. And the soap we may have to wait for, but not too long, I don't think. Yeah, we are. We are there. We have the soap. So it's just the brick. Okay, so now we can carry on figuring out this lot. Now, we don't really need this box over here. I think I need to have 2 grinders for the charcoal powder to get rid of that charcoal. Yeah. Anyway, how much do we have in storage? We have quite a bit in storage. Now, before I go and start breaking things down, I need to make sure I know what I'm doing. So let's get lab stands across to there. We'll pull up a conveyor lift up to there. So 1 input should be enough. Oh, no, I can't do that. Actually, I can do that. No, I can't. Can't do that. So let's remove that. I need another lab stand over here. Oh, what the heck? I'll go for a big one. Let's do that. And then all of this crushed charcoal will come across and go this way, where it will find itself a conveyor lift that will take it up and then a belt to go in. Okay, so that is that. Then I've got to get into the weeds on this one. And I might as well finish this belt while I'm remembering. So that will feed, but then it's also going to split off and go into this box to replace everything there. Gosh, how quickly the days go. How are we going? We have still not got enough. We are 4 short on the bricks. So these will go... Oh, okay, I'm out of nails. Yep, so these lab stands can go over to there, and then they'll drop into the box. And then this stuff needs to come across. It needs to feed everything and then come out on this line. So more lab stands, but I still need to get the wood up. Wow, got myself in a little bit of a puzzle here. All right, let's finish this output first. So that'll go out onto this belt. Top will rotate. We need a belt over here, and that'll split this out. And that'll start going into the box when it gets there. The wood is coming up over there. I think I need to bring this one a little bit further out. Yeah, let's do this. I don't need that box. I kind of need it if I want to kickstart things. And it's not really in the way. It's fine. It can stay there. So we'll take this one out and then give that a lab stand. Okay. That means we can grab a conveyor belt and bring this stuff over here to there. Okay. And then this will feed down. Yep, I think I need to bring this belt one further out for this whole thing to work. Not really, I just need to have another row of stands. Yeah, maybe that will work and we can do a little bit of belt hopping. The wood needs to get up. That's fine. This line here, this needs to get cut off. So that's gone. And then we'll belt this one over into here to feed that. And then this one needs to step out a little as well. Well, that's the end of the day. Oh dear, I didn't get that flippin' order in. Darn it, I lost a lot of cash. Man. Yeah. Oh, now they're starting to want the yeast powder. I'm going to have to get to that. Darn. Well, let's get a bit of glass. Do I even have space for it? I do. Right, random request. We'll submit that one. And we have completed 30 random requests. Nice. And it's only day 29. I feel like I should have done more than that. 180 bricks. Yep, we can get to that. Right now we have 89. So yeah, not enough. And I'm going to drop off the wooden pulleys because I don't need them. On this side, the soap is doing phenomenally well. Okay, I'm going to carry on with this and try and figure it out. This one needs to step back earlier. So we'll grab that, put it over there. We're going to take this one out. Right, that means that I can put a lab stand. Do I need a lab stand? I probably do. And we'll get a tall one in over here. Then this belt can move. All right, that's getting removed. And then this can go in and that way. Then it feeds all of these. It feeds absolutely all of them. And then it goes out onto this line. Perfect. Now we need to just get this one from there down to, let's bring it out that way and bring that up. Oh gosh, to there. Rotate that, belt that into there. And then this belt goes all the way over to there. And this whole setup over here can disappear. We don't need this. What are you doing? Stop doing that. Right. All of this goes. Done. Now, how are we doing on... Oh, we've finished our backup. So this thing needs to fire up now. And I can get it going. I still haven't fixed this. The charcoal output. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we've got one coming out, going onto the belt. It's going to split two ways over here to make sure that this is always fed. And then it's going to head out that way. Now, this burns quite slowly. So yeah, it's going to last a while. Hoping it would last longer than that though. All right, this hasn't quite ramped up yet. But it's happening. It's starting to move. Yeah, we're just going to have to give it a moment, which I don't have because now my belts are all empty. Not awesome. Although, a couple of pieces have made it onto this. Yeah, I'm gonna let this go. Let this go and just see what happens. Eventually we'll get some heat down on this side, and that will all kick off, and then this will be working at its max. You know, I feel like this isn't really picking up. I'm gonna grab some wood, and I'm gonna get these two started. That wood is gonna burn super fast, but I want to just get those moving. Alright, hopefully that ramps up. In the meantime, I'm going to build up a little bit of a platform. Oh, am I out of stone? I'm not. There we go. First, get that built up. And then I can bring this out into a couple of grinders. Might need a bit more space because one grinder is just not enough for this. And I can just put them like that. Feed those in there. And belt this back into the belt on the other side. How are we doing? Are we getting there? It looks like we might be getting there. We still need a bit of priming. So we should have 120 charcoal powder coming out of here. These things are all burning on this side still, so I don't know if it's just because they got a backup of charcoal powder. Oh, there's a plank in there. Wow, weird. Okay. But yeah, we've got coke powder. Some of these aren't really working very hard. I'm very concerned at how slowly the stuff is coming out of here. Yeah, we're still not getting the charcoal powder through fast enough. Wait, what the heck? Oh, that was not a good thing. So let's remove this, get this out of the way, and then put the belt in. This should not be here, so we'll get rid of that. It just doesn't feel like it's coming through at 120 per minute. This belt should be full. What am I missing? Oh, I know what I'm missing. A little piece of belt. That's the problem right there. All right, now it'll work. Geez, none of this stuff was feeding through because they're all backing up into this box. All right, that one is empty, so yeah. All right, now it's going to work faster. See, that's a problem that I don't want to deal with. Why? First of all, I didn't want that to connect, so let's do that. And we've got some regular charcoal. I think I'm going to take that out. I don't want it to contaminate anything. And I think I'll grab a couple of stacks over here and just put it in this box. That way we are good. And hopefully now we get to see a little bit more coming through. Right, this one has 3 in it, 4 now, and it's burning, and there's more coming through. How are we doing over here? That's empty. That one's also empty. Damn, the stuff needs to come through a lot faster. We are getting a backup on this charcoal powder, so I'm tempted to put a priority splitter in here. Maybe, because this line is not flowing like properly because there's extra coming out of here. Let's try this. So we'll take a couple of those out. Before I do that, rather let's put these down. Put an extra one over there. Do I really need to? Probably not. Let's take those 2 out and then priority splitter, and then we'll give it, rotate. Now, priority is on that one. So I think that's right. Which means that this needs to get turned and go there. And then this belt needs to be removed. All right, we made a profit. Wow. We are going to be running out. Oh, we have run out. Yep, let's put those monies in there so we can get this going. Keep that running. Otherwise, we are going to have a bit of a problem later. We have a buffer of wood, so fuel is not an issue. Anyway, let's remove this belt over here and we'll straighten it out to go straight out. So this one has priority to feed the ethanol, and then we top up the rest with the leftover charcoal powder that isn't going through the system. And that will help. Otherwise, that coke powder is just coming through a little too slowly. But everything's still working. Wait, this isn't. But we'll have it back up and running shortly. All right, let's pin this bulk order. We've got some days for it. I should be able to do all of that now. Right, so bricks. I just need to drop off some wood. So we got the bricks. We have the vitality potion. We have the healing potion. And now we just need a few more nails. And that is that. Good. Let's go and deliver. And submit. Good. Good. We're doing okay. All right. Now what the heck is going on? Yeah, it looks like we are having a little bit of trouble with it as well. Keeping these stone furnaces running. Yeah, it's coming out too slowly to get to... I don't understand it though. The fuel value should be way more. No, it looks like this is starting to back up. Okay, it will eventually back up. It's just so slow. All right, I'm just going to keep an eye on it because now every time one of these burners stops, we'll end up slowing down the whole production process. And then we don't get this extra overflow. It looks like it's sort of working a bit now. Okay, these are backing up now. Are we getting any backup over on this side? Is this one even working? Nope, because nothing got to this one. All right, well, I'll give it a bit of a start. It's going to take some time, I think. How are we doing down here? Not great. And I'm going to be fighting with this for this whole episode. Yeah, I almost need to send this extra stuff back onto this line. Maybe that's the way to do it. This is going to be a bit of a belt mess. But if I put it back into there, but also split it out, so that these burners all fill up first. And once this is all running and these are all backed up, then this line should start working again. Yeah, crap, that one's gone off again, but there we go, it's back on. I mean, this system is perfectly balanced to feed itself and not much else. That's not exactly what I was expecting. All right, so while I keep an eye on this and make sure that it actually does start picking up, yeah, this one is, it's doing what it should do. This is filling up and this is all going through pretty quickly. These are coming out at regular intervals. I'm going to keep an eye on this. This one has, well, it's sort of backed up. I mean, we're not really burning anything here because this isn't working. This, on the other hand, should be working. I have to wait for that stuff to get through here. I should have backed up a little bit more of the coal powder before I implemented this. Anyway, it's fine. It'll do. Let's have a look at what we're going to do next. So the next thing is this yeast powder. So that's going to need soap powder. Oh, yes. Now we have a reason to use soap and fruit wine. So it's 3 different plants to make this. Nice production line. And that happens in a blender as well. I can't really start doing that until I've sorted out the fuel. And this is out of money again. Holy cow. All right, come on, fill up. That's a lot of cash there. I'm not understanding why we're not getting a backup. This is working full time without a problem. It's getting the extra charcoal. These are all working. Flippin' hell, they're not working full time. Oh, now, are these other ones? They are backing up. That is what's going on. So it just needs time. That's all. Once that is sorted out, then everything will run again. In the meantime, I can start planning. So that's probably going to happen over on this side for the yeast powder. Blender. I'm just going to put it down so I can see recipes. So the yeast powder needs 30 soap powder per minute and 600 fruit wine per minute. Each of these makes 100. So yeah, we're going to need one of these plants. I'm going to put down a grinder here just to test. 10. Okay, so we'll need 3 grinders to make 30 per minute. So we're going to start off with, let's go this way. We'll have to bring some of the fertilizer back this way. We'll have 2 of them on one side. These will be making the stuff for the soap. Rotate that around, and then we can bring the fertilizer in. Bring that through. I'm not going to plug it in yet. I'll need to get this set up here. So we'll grab this. I need to get this in the right place. So we'll do that, and then F to confirm, and I'll run over this way, and then that will be right over here. So the sage will be in this one, and then I'm going to have to bring the flax out around the back and then do the linseed over there. All right, no problem. We'll do this, and then we're going to need to also bring some fuel over. So hopefully eventually this all backs up and we have enough fuel. Yeah, so this is where the fuel is going to come in. And then we're going to bring a belt out over here, this way, and then straight through to there. And I will just remove this. That's going to feed into 3 extractors, which I think I can have on the inside. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll give them a bit of storage as well. Cool. And then those 2 items, this will come out over this way. They will go into a blender. Oh, and I'm short a little bit of iron ingot. Oh, and that is the end of the day. Oh, not a bad day. Still ran a loss, but not bad. Ran a loss because of 86,000 worth of these logs. Wow. That's quite a bit. And there are none on the belt. Man, that's crazy. All right. Back to where we were. Blender. And then a pipe that will go right across this way. Ooh, there. And then this goes up 1. And then, nope, up 1. And then change that to go there. Right. And this will be the soap. And then I need 3 grinders. So we'll put those across that way, or is that the right thing to do? Yeah, I suppose that's fine. And we can feed the soap into them. They will get crushed and come out like, I don't know, something like that. And then on this side, we will need to have these, and we need 6 of them. So we do that and belt those in, and we'll give that a bit of storage as well. I think maybe let's do the storage back here. I don't know if we're going to need them. We'll connect all of those together, these to those. And let me just make sure I've got my head clear here. That only needs the wine. So that's exactly what we need right over here. So I'm going to set this recipe to be soap. These are going to automatically make the wine. Then I need a processor that I suppose can go over here. And then I can put a storage box in over there. This is going to have to come around and feed into that. And then we need pipes. So this one, change that to go up. And then change it to go into there. And that should be the setup for the yeast. Yep, I think that'll work. Yeast powder. I hope we need that for something important. Oh, there's one more piece of belt to go in right over there. And it's going the wrong way. Why? Yeah, just like that. That's going to make 15 per minute. So this is pretty much fully balanced. I just need to get the fuel in. So there's going to have to be a split off this line. I am concerned though, although these burners are still burning. No, that one's not, but it'll get there. How are we doing over here with the backup? So this one has started backing up. That means that first one is already backed up. Yep, it has. Okay, so this one's going to back up, and then that one will eventually back up. Yep. Yeah, this is not ideal. I needed to balance those inputs a little bit better. But you know what? Once it's backed up, that should all work. Should be good. Right, so let's route the fuel, because that we're obviously going to need it. So we'll bring it over. We'll make it look a little neat like that. And then this will be an input into there, well, to there, and that out to there. That will sort out the fuel. Everything else is fine. May as well go and get the seeds. So we need a sage, we need a flax, and we need a red currant. So flax, sage, red currant. This one here needs to be the flax. Then that one needs to be the sage. And then this is the red currant. Perfect. Just like that. Now, once I plug this in, this ball's going to start rolling a little bit. The only one that we need fuel for is the sage. Yeah, what the heck? Let's plug it in. And those all start flowing. Good. So we'll get all of these storages filled and yeah, we'll be ready. And then what I'm probably going to do is, we're not using this line anymore. Oh, we are. I actually don't need this one, but I'm going to leave it there. This is kind of working. This is backing up still. Good. I still need to throw the occasional log in. This one, this has got a coke powder in it. It's working. Yeah, I just want to get these belts all filled up and get this flowing consistently. Once that's working, like this one here is coke powder full. How are we doing on this one? That one's filling up with coke powder. Good. This one is still struggling. This over here, it's got coke powder. Very good. And this one will be struggling as well. Yep. Yeah, I'll give that a little bit extra. I didn't actually check to see what quests there were. There's an urgent request that I can deliver. And there's this bulk request that I could probably do as well. The random quest, well, not quite yet. Let's pin this one. We still have a bit of time. 240 stone. Oh, that's not the stone. That's the stone. Right, I got that. I need iron ingots, and I have quite a few on me. That's sorted, and now glass. And I have plenty glass. So let's deliver that. At least we'll make some cash for the day. That is submitted. Then that urgent request, it's just 90 healing potions. That is easy. There's my healing potions. I have lots. So urgent request, deliver. And then this random quest, well, I'll need to get everything sorted out. And this is, I've got till tomorrow. I might be able to still do that one. We just need to get this yeast going. Right, so the good news is I blocked up a port with planks, which meant that this one backed up. This one is fully backed up. And this one, well, it's getting there. So things will split out less. And we should start getting more of it through. I'm still not understanding why I'm not like getting maximum production. I should be getting these extra 20 per minute charcoal powder into the system. This is only using 120, so there should be an extra 20 spilling over onto this line, and I'm not seeing it. I don't think I'm missing anything. All of these are actually working. So there should be 140 wanting to get in there, which means that this line of charcoal powder should be backing up, but it's not. But it's almost the end of the day. This is looking like it's starting to get where I want it to be. So I'm going to feed a line back, and that's going to go through here down into this box. Now, maybe I should, oh man, end of the day. Well, we made a very good profit. Okay, that's landed where I wanted it to. So that can go into there. And that's going to just split things up even more, which is not ideal, but things should start backing up fairly soon because this is now backed up. This should be producing more than enough to send loads of stuff out. Well, we can only hope. But it looks like we are getting our first fuel into this system. And there's another one already on its way. Hopefully that means oh yes, there are bits of fuel going all over. Now I could send this by catapult, probably, because there's so little of it coming through. And these things are still burning. They're all burning. Except this one. Yeah, gave it a bit of fuel, so it's working now. And then, of course, this one. But we are pretty full up on vitality potions, so we should be fine. Right, let's start collecting goods. That is the bricks, the vitality potion we have. Let's go and have a look at how this system is working. Are we doing well here? Yes, that's starting to produce. This is not... Oh, there's the problem. Well, let's connect these belts up. Didn't need that last one, so we'll remove it. That will speed things up. Yep, these are now working at 20 per minute. Is that what I needed over here? I needed 30. Oh, this is not balanced. Hang on. This is making 60. It's going in here. This needs 60 to make 20 per minute. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, we're not balanced. We're not making enough soap. Oh, well. We got our first 16 yeast powder. All right, I would have to adjust things. But that's a little... Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit unfair there, man. We should be getting... This should be 30 if they're going to have a recipe down the line that needs 30. Because then I'd have to multiply this by 1.5, which is really annoying. So I would need 80 of these, which means one more crucible. Yeah, we get a better stone furnace, so we could do things like that later on and balance them. Anyway, it is what it is. This is being fueled, and the fuel is actually backing up over here. I imagine that means the fuel is backing up over there as well. And we have 28. I'm looking for 45 yeast powder to finish that random quest. Let's see if there are any other quests for today. This one, well, I could do that right now. Just need 90 pulleys, and I have plenty of those. So random quest, submit. And then this one also needs 45 yeast powder. But yeah, we'll do that one first. Okay, I don't think I need this much going this way. I think I'm going to give this a little bit more balancing by doing that. So that it splits, we'll have double in that direction compared to going in that direction. Otherwise, we just land up with too much going down here. And then not enough back there, and there's a lot of belt to back up if that happens. This one's fine. Oh well, there you go, 45. Let's go and deliver that. And submit. Good, we're over 400 silver coins. This one we can pin, and we can go and pick up the pulleys. Okay, good, we have the pulleys, and then we need 90 nails, and we have lots of nails. So, yeah, once again, just waiting for the yeast powder. So because of this, we are not producing as fast as we could, but also then don't need this last grinder in here, so let's just get rid of it. Done. Alright, this one is still backing up, even though I have halved what is being sent to it. These should all be backed up and working now, and these things should start backing up. That one is. Eventually this one will start working. I mean, I could give it a bit of help and grab 10 out of there, and actually I'm going to put some in here. This is where it needs it more. I need to keep that brick production going. No, yeah, I moved things around, balanced things, so everything is still working. Alright, well, I moved fuel around. This one is just going to continue backing up, but the others needed to get some stuff to them first, so I moved some of the stacks out of these burners into the other burners that weren't getting any, so hopefully they will start getting some, and these will back up again. So let's have a look at the research. What are we going to do next? It looks like, well, we do need to get to the transformation potion, and that has a recipe. I can't really tell what that first item is, but we need this, and for that we need bloom spores. Yeah, so whatever happens there, we're going to have a completely separate setup for that. We could get into steel. Not ready for that yet. Could go into turquoise. Turquoise, that's a fairly easy setup. Some health potion and some sand. And then that's a jewelry item. But if I start that, then it's going to start asking for that as part of the quests. So maybe I should go for the Shaper first. Yeah, the Shaper, the Jupiter, and the Knowledge Altar. Yes, and then we can start generating knowledge points, these upgrade points for this area. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll start that Shaper research. And it looks like the end of the day is coming. How are we doing here? Oh, look at that. We've got yeast powder again. Perfect. And I can go and deliver this random quest. Submit. Good. We're approaching basically 500,000 coins. 500,000 copper coins. And we finished the Shaper. We get the Jupiter. And I do want to get the better building hammer. Right now, for building structures, this is what we have. And it's not bad. I could use that, but I would like to get the next level. What do we need for that building tool? Oh, steel ingots. Okay, we can't do that. This one, for the inventory, I just need 120 pulleys. That I shouldn't have a problem with. Gloves need soap. Well, I'm not really worried about that. I'm not loading shelves. So let me get some healing potion and some pulleys. Was it 120 pulleys? Right, and then healing potion was 100. We're going to do some more little upgrades. Alright, so inventory, we'll get the inventory increase. I have no idea how much more that gave me. And then we can get the potion belt. So that will extend our days a little bit. Yeah, building tool, steel ingot for the next level. Because there's something nice in the next level and I want to build. I want to go up. Right now I haven't needed to and we won't need to for a while, but I'd still want to. The day is almost over. Let's do another research. We're going to get the knowledge altar. So we'll start that. This is a display shelf. Yeah, this is one for in the shop. That's if I wanted to sell the Jupiters. Nah, don't really need to do that right now. In the meantime, our new little facilities are all ticking over. This will take time, but it's going to back up, hopefully. All right, that one's finished. This one's not... Ooh, this one's not keeping up anymore. There's something gone wrong over here. Yes, oh my word. Okay, we have stopped... I see what's going on here. The fuel hasn't come through this way. Oh, that's particularly bad. So we're not getting any wood because we're not producing any fertilizer because the fertilizer things are not running. Damn. And this is all dried up. And we have no wood to actually restart that. I'm in a bit of trouble. I'm going to need to get some of my building wood out. And let's get these fires lit. Man, that was an oversight of note. How full is our box over here? Oh, that's also a bit of a problem. Because that box is completely full. No, it's fine. We have a storage box over here. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. And this has started working again. Holy cow, that's pretty bad. Okay, this side is now also starting to work. Perfect. Well, that was almost a tragedy. And I have all of these spare mushrooms. I wonder if I should have a buffer for them. Yeah, maybe. Let me go and grab some more iron ingots. And this is working. Okay. I'll just need to top that up very quickly. That's sorted out. It's going... Yeah, let's box these mushrooms because that'll keep the wood flowing. So bring that out and bring that back in. All right, good. Flow, babies, flow. And we have ended the day with an enormous profit. That's a good one. And I'm going to have to just keep an eye on these. It looks like they're empty again. So until these start getting fed, yeah, I'm going to need to just keep topping them up. So not ideal, but there's coke powder coming through to them. So yeah, this setting up the coke has kind of messed things up a bit. Hopefully it all balances itself out, but I could have done this better, I think. Definitely balancing the inputs. Anyway, we are producing, so we should be getting a lot more fuel out, like heat-wise. And this is starting to build up again. How are we doing over here? This is empty, gosh. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. This fuel thing has messed up my whole system. I thought by putting this on, we would actually improve things, and it's kind of made everything worse. But I'm going to let it run. I'm going to give it time, and maybe it'll balance itself out. If it doesn't, then I'm going to go back to what I had. Anyway, if you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts. It's a very good game, very complicated, and yeah, there's some balancing issues. I am sure that they'll be sorted out. This is very early access, so I don't expect it to be perfect. But honestly, I'm still enjoying this game. I like the flow. I like how it works. It's very, very good. But in the next episode, hey, we're going to make our first relics. We're going to get the Jupiters started and maybe dabble in a bit of steel. That should be fun. But thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, cheers!